Welcome back to Range Anxiety TV, and today I'm going to perform a little magic trick for you. Like abracadabra, what do I have in my hands? In my hands I've got a Dragy. Now most of you would know what a Dragy is, right? It's a little device you put in your car, super accurate, allows you to time 0 to 100, quarter mile, 0 to 60, 60 to 120, 100 to 200. It's a great device and it's super duper accurate, and it's got a lie detector in it so that if you're going downhill, it marks the run's valid or invalid. You're only allowed a certain amount of slope like you would be at a drag strip. So you really can't cheat. You connect to it with your phone app and there's a leaderboard, and it's a very cool little device, and in Australia they're about $250 delivered. And what they do, I've never been much of a fan of the things, but they actually are really, really good. And a few of my mates at drag race overseas have them in the car as well to do certain different comparisons. So yeah, good thing. But what they do, and the reason I've got one sitting in front of me today, is I'm a member of a bunch of slack-jawed yokels.
Cletus, you are the most wonderful husband and son I ever had.
Around Australia, from Queensland to Victoria to obviously South Australia and Canberra, that have got this online messenger group called Book Club. It was established in 2007 or something. And we all sort of started the whole book club thing on. I was sort of like a late addition because of a love of LS Commodores at the time. Now, obviously that was a long time ago, and a lot of us have all pretty much moved on from that. So there's always this big thing about I'm faster, you're slowest, I'm fastest because the spec sheet said, you know, your Telstra's junk, you know, my Jaguar's wicked, right? And, you know, my motorbike's faster than your car, da-da-da-da-da. Now, because they're all old blokes, most of them younger than me, but one or two older, they're all actually scared to go to the track because they know that's like the lie detector. So what's happened, we've got a ranking system now. So we've all gone out and got a Dragy. I use my business partner, John Munro's, because he goes to the track, as you can see there. He ran 9.4 at 153 or 4 or something in his 720S, thanks to the great tune that we put in it and some other mods. I use his. One of the players, Macca his name is, because he actually breeds llamas in Canberra. Interesting. They spit a lot too, like hop, they spit on your llamas. And he's got his own, and there's another guy called Booker who lives in the Gold Coast who actually just bought himself a brand new shoe. That's what we call it. It's an Audi RS3 hatch, a black one. You can't, it sort of looks like a black blob with stick-on bits on it, and they've got wider front wheels tyres than they do rear tyres. Yeah, and they're shaped like a shoe, so that's called the shoe. Macca drives a Model 3 Performance, a legacy version like I had, basically the same spec, and of course I've got the new Model 3 Performance. A guy called Chief Flaky Paintium he's an American Indian in Victoria. He's got a VF SS, I think, with the number plates lasts, all these S's and L's and stuff in it. I think last SS. And those are all the white paint flakes off the edges of the bonnet, hence his name. So there's a few of us. There's an E400 V6 twin turbo Merc that belongs to a guy that calls himself Tuffy, who's about that big. There's a guy on a ZX14R who basically cannot ride a motorbike, who wants to be part of it, who thinks he's going to be fastest. But anyway, they're yet to do their times, and I'll fill you in when they do. The first person to have a crack, or the first two, was Macca in his old Model 3, and he just give it a crack on a private road. None of this is done on the street. He ran a 3.55, 0 to 100, unprepped, you know, like no battery heating or ripping his thongs out of the back of the car or any llama he might have had stuffed in the boot. 3.55, pretty impressive on the money. That's kind of what they do. We were most impressed with Booker and his shoe, though, because those, like, little rowdy sort of micro hatchback things, you know, in the hundreds to buy because rowdy, they're rated at 3.8, 0 to 100. He did a 3.63, but, you know, I wasn't even trying, you know. So he basically did like 100 passes and pointed it as downhill as he could for the run to be valid and did a 3.63. So that's pretty good. Hats off to him. Those little shoes are pretty fast if you want to be seen driving one. And, of course, I've had a crack now too. Luckily, we do have a long enough road that we own in our premises, and I was able to do 0 to 100 in 3.37, slightly damp, 5:13 in the morning when I just rocked up to work and there was no one around to hit. You know, like Gareth wouldn't be towing his caravan in, and I did it very safely and very carefully. So the leaderboard is at the moment, I'm in first at 3.37, Macapacker's in second at 3.55, Booker and his little black shoe is in third at 3.63, and I'm also in fourth with a stunning 10.34 in the Leaf in Echo mode from when I was testing. So these boys have got a lot of work to do. Drop me a line and think, you know, if you think there's anything that can blow off the new Model 3 0 to 100 on a road surface. I don't think there is in that group. I mean, there's an AMG GDS that belongs to some bloke with a Euros shop called Murray. They're not very fast, those things. They sound like ski boats too. And what else is there that's any good? Let me think. Yeah, nothing. So we're going to update this list as we go, and there is going to be a leaderboard. At the moment, I'll have the gold medal. I'm not going to go out again. I reckon I could go from 3.37 down to about 3.20 or 3.15 if I heated the battery and took all of Lisa's shopping bags and the dogs and everything out of the back of it. But I'm not going to run again until someone beats me. See, you've got to give them a chance. If you put them in the bin straight up, no one's going to want to have a go. And I think for the social, there's a lot of excuses too. I can't run my car in the next 18 months because mum's cooking a lamb roast every night and I can't, you know, attend. Those of you old enough will remember that Tom Cruise ad, if you're Australian. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of excuses, a book of excuses. There's a lot of flops in the group that just won't do anything. And some people that they say, well, I've got the spec sheet for my motorbike. It's faster than anything, but that's what the spec sheet said in 1985, whenever the heap of old rice-burning junk was new. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun. And while this isn't like an in-depth video, owning cars and being in the car game is about fun. Now, it doesn't matter whether you plug in or you fill it up. It's the us versus them versus everyone else. I mean, we even let some bloke that drives some Audi 100 grand plus shoe join in, you know, with the fast Teslas. We did it because we feel sorry for him and we like him. Now, if you feel sorry for us and you like us, click subscribe, and we'll film you some more fun content. Thanks again.